What's going on, guys? Ironcane here, back for another Dragon Ball The Breakers video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the new gauge system that they introduced in the recent update of Dragon Ball The Breakers. If you guys don't know, there is a gauge that is now applied to all raiders in the game, and is the red bar above their health bar. So I want to be talking about how it works, basically. So previously, raiders were able to be indefinitely stunned by rockets and other abilities, or basically knocked back, but that is not the case anymore. So say if the raider has Dragon Balls, they won't drop their balls until the gauge is depleted and you hit them with a knockback base move like a rocket. So as you see, I'm going to go ahead and deplete Cell's gauge with these rockets. He got knocked back once, but as you can see, I can't knock him back anymore with those rockets. And there's definitely other ways to decrease the gauge as well besides using rockets. The way I found the most effective is to use melee attacks. If I run up the Cell here and do melee attack being a low level, it won't do anything. But if I go ahead and let me just cancel my transformation. If I go ahead and stun the raider, well, if I go ahead and stun the raider and use a melee super, it completely depletes the gauge and will make the raider drop Dragon Balls and allow him to be knocked back. But keep in mind, you can't do it indefinitely like you were able to do before. Just to show you guys, I'm going to go pause and be right back. Alright, I'm back. I'm going to transform. I'm going to go to Solar Flare. This is the bot, so the bot's just being a goofball here. I'm going to hit him with a melee super. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to see if he gets knocked back when I hit him with a rocket. He does not. Yeah, he's completely unaffected by the rocket, and as you saw there, my rocket was not able to stop from doing his super attack. So basically, what the gauge does now is that you won't be able to do this anymore. So this is a game I had long ago, and as you can see, let me turn the game sound off. Oh, fuck you. As you can see, I was knocked back by rockets multiple times here, and it didn't allow me to get my absorption. And because of this, I was not able to get my level 4, and this survivor that I was trying to absorb this entire time actually died. So this survivor died that I was trying to absorb, and I was not able to get the absorption on them. So this will not be a thing anymore, thank goodness, because this was kind of toxic, and I felt like it cost me a lot of evolutions that I was not able to get previously. But now it'll be easier to get absorptions and things like that. But like that Kamehameha right there that hit me, that would not knock me off the survivor unless my gauge was depleted.
Yes, rather these fucking boys die than me get my level 4.
Okay, but we're going to get back to the tutorial here in a sec. I just wanted to show you guys an example of how things worked previously. Alright, so the next thing I want to show you guys is how this gauge system affects other moves. And one move in particular is Volley. So Volley is a notorious move for being able to deal massive amounts of damage against the raider. This is how Volley works now. As you can see, it does not knock back the raider as like it used to. Even with the gauge depleted, it does not knock the raider back. They just stand there. So they're free to melee combo you during this. They are free to shoot you, land a super attack on you. Volley does not knock back raiders like it once did. If you want to get rid of a gauge, you can just do the old tried and true, which is doing a melee combo, and then the mage will be depleted. They'll drop their Dragon Balls and all that good stuff. I'm going to show you guys how it worked previously. Alright, so this is how broken Volley used to be previously. As you can see here, the raider is constantly getting knocked back by each individual blast here. And then when you're in a small cramped space, like,
oh my god,
you can see the damage potential that's possible. So not only did they nerf Volley.
Let me get out of here, bro. Let me get out of here, please.
So not only did they nerf Volley in terms of its damage, as you can see,
oh, it's on.
Each blast here was pushing the raider back individually, meaning that the only way for them to negate the knockback would be to use their own like knockback defense tool.
Oh my god.
But if they use that, then they were like pretty much like forced to take all that damage and all the knockback. So what does this mean, and how can it be advantageous to survivors? Well, in one way it could be advantageous is if you have a really strong special super attack, like special beam cannon. So I'm gonna go ahead, land this stun, and here I can just spam special beams, and Cell isn't being knocked back, allowing me to land even more super attacks than I would have been able to before the gauge. So you can use the gauge in your favor depending on your super attack for ones that are very quickly. Previously, raiders would get knocked back, and in their knockback, they get a little bit of instability frames, or they would knock them out of the way. But with a move like Special Beam Cannon, if you get someone stunned, you could spam a couple super attacks and get them pretty quick, and as you see, he's not getting knocked back there. So that's one way to use it in your favor, but also to negate the gauge, you could do Vanish attacks, and those instantly deplete the gauge, and I'll force the raider to drop any Dragon Balls that they have on them. So what's useful here is that the Vanish attack is actually very powerful if you're, trying to fight a raider against the gauge. So even at level 1, if you use a Vanish attack, so I'm going to wait for Cell to finish doing that. Evasive move, I'm going to use my stun. If I use the Vanish attack, in a stun, sorry, it only works when you use it in a stun. If you use the Vanish attack in a Cell, please work with me, bro. All right, one way to get rid of the gauge pretty fast is to use a stun on the raider, just like so, and then use a Vanish attack right afterwards. As you can see, I'm a level 1, he's a level 2, and I was able to deplete his gauge, and that would make him drop his Dragon Balls. That would stop him from destroying the Super Time Machine, and that would stop him from absorbing a civilian or a survivor there. So the Vanish attacks are definitely very, very important, because as you can see, I'm a level 1 here, and a level 1 melee combo would just make Cell slap me away. So Vanish attacks are definitely something that you guys need to start utilizing more so with the gauge being implemented now. So for the only way the raider is going to drop the Dragon Balls is you completely deplete the gauge. Previously, if you shot one rocket, it would do it, but now he doesn't drop the Dragon Balls, so you have to deplete the gauge, and then he will drop the Dragon Balls. So the gauge system also applies to the Super Time Machine as well. Previously, you could use rockets to just immediately knock the raider off, but as you can see here, this does not work anymore. You would have to spam multiple rockets, deplete the gauge to do so. And it's the same thing with super attacks. One super attack would knock the raider off of the Super Time Machine. Does not do that anymore. So the most efficient way to get the raider off would be to do Vanish attacks, like so, or also to engage in melee combos. So the raider's going to go on the Super Time Machine again, and I can use this melee combo here. It'll deplete his gauge, drop his Dragon Balls, and get him off the Super Time Machine. So yeah, guys, this is basically how the gauge system works and how it impacts raiders. I think melee combat is the best way to go about it. Melee supers deplete the gauge, Vanish attacks deplete the gauge, and regular melee combos deplete the gauge as well. And of course, you can use abilities like the rockets or items like the rockets to do so as well. But yeah, guys, this is a little tutorial on the gauge. If there's any other questions you guys have about the gauge, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to answer them. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this gauge, if you think it's good for the game, if you think it's bad for the game. I personally think it's good just because I feel like raiders were a little too easily manhandled by like stuns like the rockets, just because now that's not the case anymore. Now you have to use multiple rockets, and it doesn't just take one to knock like a big bad DBZ boss off of a Super Time Machine, right? And same thing with like one super attack. So at this point, Vanish attacks are definitely more important. Melee combos are definitely more important. So I feel like this would just make the game a little more interesting. But, we'll have to see in time if this is a healthy move for the game or a poor move for the game. Yeah, guys, if you liked the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the Ironcane for more tutorials like these, showcases, updates, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Also, before I leave, this also applies to Dragon Pedestals as well. So if the raider is summoning, the same rules apply. If the raider is absorbing a civilian, same rules apply. Or if it's a survivor, same rules apply. Just wanted to say that before we go. But with that said, catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.